anything you want to tell people out there? I know you're pretty inexperienced because we snipped your balls off a couple of weeks ago. Nothing? Welcome back to the Abakahs channel. So we remember, a couple of weeks ago we said that, it was in our 6 years video.
What 6 years taught us video.
We said that we were going to start doing, I guess, Ask the Abakahs videos. So this is our first one. You excited?
I'm lit, bruh.
Okay.
Get it? Oh, my bad. Whistle.
All right, let's get to it. So this question is from one of our amazing viewers, which is going to stay anonymous. So remember, all of these questions are anonymous. We're not going to blast you or none of that. So let's get straight to it.
Ayana doesn't want me to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway.
No.
I want to give everybody Black Planet names, if y'all remember Black Planet. So this is from Redbone37.
Her name is not that, for real. He just wants to give people Black Planet codes.
Okay, Yahoo chat room.
No, none of that.
Go ahead. Caramel Cutie 15.
Okay. All right. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. I'm a 17-year-old, 18 in the spring senior in high school, and I've never kissed, really talked to a boy, nor had a boyfriend. Throughout the past couple of years, I've seen pretty much all of my friends date, flirt, make up, and break up with guys. Now, I'm not necessarily jealous of their situation, but it does make me question if I'm being too uptight. In my opinion, it's important to keep standards for a potential partner, such as God-fearing, intelligent, respectful, confident, and attractive. Should I just let loose and give people who don't necessarily meet all of those standards a chance just to get some experience and have fun? Thanks for taking the time out to read this. Love you guys. God bless. We have a special guest too, so if you hear all of that, y'all know that's Connor. He's a part of the Abakahs, so
he's here.
He might answer a question.
Where my dog's at?
So basically her question is, should I keep my standards or should I loosen up a little bit? Because I've never had a boyfriend.
Should I settle? Should I give in? Should I just experience? Should I just date around? Should I see what's out there? Should I have some fun? All that jazz.
All that.
Well, I'll start. I'll start with my response. Honestly, 17, 18 years old, and you're like, okay, well, should I be like some of the people that I see? But like you said, you saw that some of the people were also, breaking up with guys, going through their own trouble, their own trauma, their own hell. And you were seeing that, and it's like, man, they going through all that stuff, and I feel like I'm missing out because I'm not going through all that stuff. Is that really a bad thing when you think about it? Now, I'm going to give you the real side as far as for me. I was that person. I was a virgin, 18 years old. Yeah, 18 years old. And I was like, okay, I want to experience a little bit. I want to know what's out there. I'm tired of being that nice guy that I'm always in the friend zone. I'm the counselor. I'm all the girls' best friend. And they tell me all the stuff like, man, you're so cool, but I just can't date you because I don't want to mess up our friendship. Shut up. So, with me feeling like that, eventually I was like, well, I might as well do it. I might as well have sex. I might as well give it up because everybody else is doing it. And I feel like, well, maybe that will give me the access or the privilege of experiencing some of the hell that everybody else is experiencing, because I don't know, it's almost like you feel like since you're not getting shot that you're not a part of the club. So I was like, shoot me, let me know how this feels so I can relate to everybody like, man, yeah, I went through hell too, but look where God brought me. honestly, I didn't really have to have a testimony that was like everybody else's. My testimony was what God gave me, which was, hey, I have standards, even as a guy. And as a man, it's like my standards were more of, I know that I'm a package. I am very valuable. Honestly, I'm amazing. And just because I don't have somebody right now just means that they haven't caught on to it. So even though you may feel like, but I want to experience and I want to such and such. Okay, I get it. I do. Believe me, I do. But at the same time, you don't want to use, I guess, allow the excuse of experiencing some hell to really bring you down. Because who knows what will happen after that? A little bit of hell? A little bit of hell ain't bad. What? A little bit of hell ain't bad? I'm going to get a little bit of poison. Just a little bit. I'm going to let somebody break my heart a little bit. I'm going to let somebody use me a little bit. And I'm not saying that that's what it all boils down to. Because, of course, it could be somebody. But at the same time, you don't want to lower yourself just to be in the crowd. Because, honestly, lowering yourself, I mean, that sounds crazy. You're lowering yourself to feel like you're a part of something because you're feeling like you're missing out on something. But you don't really need to because God made you the way you are. So I'm gonna tag in because she got this.
Okay, so.
Let them know, boo.
So this question is funny because it kind of hit me personally because I was that 17/18-year-old girl. I was a virgin until I got married.
I was a born-again virgin, so don't judge me. It happened again.
But, yeah, I was a virgin until I got married, and I kind of went through this similar situation as this young lady did. I went to a high school that, just being honest, a lot of people were very promiscuous. I'm not saying that I was like super innocent or whatever. Like, I was pretty innocent. I didn't do anything crazy. But, yeah, I went to a high school that, some people were pretty promiscuous. I knew some people, they had several abortions by the time they graduated from high school. It was like that crazy, yeah. So, I'm not trying to put anybody's business out there, so I'm gonna shut up. But, yeah, so I kind of had the same thoughts, like, okay, I've never really had a boyfriend. I had some people that, had interest in me, but I think because they knew I was a virgin and they knew that I wasn't going to give it up, it was like, I'm wasting my time, or I don't know, like, it was just a lot. You might have to go somewhere because that collar is making a lot of noise.
And why do you want to play in front of us?
Like, what?
Really? Sorry, he just knocked the microphone.
Yeah, so I was that girl who had those questions, who Carson, I'm gonna mess up.
He said, what? Stop. Connor.
What happened to my collar, bruh?
Connor, sit down. If you knock down my lights, we're gonna fight. Okay, go ahead.
I got 3 minutes. But yeah, I was that girl who had all those questions going through my head. And honestly, I'm so glad I didn't succumb to it or whatever, because I am more of a person who observes and lives certain experiences through other people. And just being honest, some of the people that I saw who, had the multiple boyfriends, they had a lot of drama, like a lot of drama, unnecessary drama that at 16 and 17, you're kind of like, why are you going through this? Mm-hmm. Abusive relationship, dude cheating on you, he got a baby mama already, like all those different types of things. And I'm not judging anybody. I understand that sometimes people go through certain things, you make certain mistakes, but if you have the option not to go through that, don't. Like, if you know and you see certain things, don't. Like, it's not worth it just to get experience. Like, wait on the person that God has for you, and I feel like people think that, oh, it's taking too long and oh, da 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 da, and I'm like, no, it's not taking too long. God is preserving you. He's it's like that cake, you know, that cake that may take a really, really, really long time to make, but at the end, and when it's cooled down and everything, and you cut that slice and you taste that cake, it's like, girl, that cake is good. I'm pretty sure you've had that type of cake, you know? So that's how I look at it. Like, young ladies, preserve yourself, preserve yourself, preserve yourself. Don't let society, don't let a man, don't let your friends make you feel like you're missing out on certain experiences. Because honestly, when you're sharing your body to multiple people, it's multiple heartbreaks, it's soul ties. Every time you have sex with someone, you are taking a piece of them and they're taking a piece of you. And it's like, do you want that? Do you want a piece of them and then a piece of the person they had sex with, a piece of the person that they had sex with, a piece of the person that they, like, do you want that?
That's a whole lot of pieces.
Because some of them pieces are crazy. And do you want those things? Like, do you want that? Like, no. So for this young lady in this question, girl, just wait. Just wait. You know, surround yourself with like-minded people. Surround yourself with people that are going to build you and encourage you in this time. And just date yourself. Date God.
I promise I was about to say that.
Date, you know, hang out with your friends. Enjoy this time to become an even more whole person in God. To become a whole person in God. Because two halves, honestly, people be like, oh, that's my better half, blah, blah, blah. No. I'm whole, he's whole, and we come together as two whole people. Mm-hmm. I don't look at him as, yes, we complement each other, but I don't rely on him to complete me. God completes me. So, and the same with him. God completes him, and we come together as a powerful force together.
Two whole people,
not two broken people or two halves, you know? So that's my thing. Like, I know for me personally, my dating experience wasn't like, oh my gosh, I dated all these people, but I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. And I was, you know, God presented me this amazing guy, and we've been married 6 years.
Oh, keep going.
You know, we've been married 6 years, and I appreciate the lack of experience, you know? Because honestly, sometimes the lack of experience is great because you're not comparing yourself or comparing him to other people that you may have dated. Because that can be a lot of drama. Well,
that's a whole lot of baggage.
You wasn't like such and such, or even mentally in your brain, you start sitting there comparing your husband, wife, or boyfriend, girlfriend to who you dated in the past. Well, you know, he not like such and such. I mean, such and such, he, you know, he was a little more, you know, this and that and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And that just messes with your brain. So I say no.
And I don't know if you're going to have something else to add after this. But also, the one thing I even thought about, now I can't remember where the poem is from or who said it. It could be Maya Angelou. Don't judge me. But it's the poem about, or I read it somewhere, where pretty much it's this tree, right? And this tree has like this amazing fruit on it. And at the bottom, like underneath the tree, there's a lot of, you know, let's say apples and worms that ate through it, or some that's a little rotten, some that's half eaten, some that has a little bite mark, some that's a little bruised. But the real shiny, like beautiful, juicy, succulent, like amazing apples are at the top. And it's not a whole bunch of them. It's like, let's say maybe, could be like 10, 15 at the top. But like at the closer you get to the bottom, it's a lot. And especially on the ground, there's a lot. So pretty much they've been shaking off. Well, one day this guy, he's like, man, I'm sure is hungry. I want me an apple. And he's walking down the street. He comes across, he sees this tree and he's like, oh man, I want to get an apple. And as he walks up, he sees this somewhere on the ground and he's like, well, I could just eat this. And he's like, nah, somebody's already eaten this. Or I could eat this one. As he looks up a little higher on the tree and he's like, this one has a little bruise on it. But pretty much he looks up at the top and he's like, man, but that apple right there looks like the apple that's going to quench that thirst, that hunger, that desire.
That's the apple of all apples.
And that's the apple of all apples. So the only way to get to it, he has to climb it. He has to literally go through the bushes. He has to bypass all the apples that are shaking themselves off of their branch just to get his attention, because each apple wants to be eaten. But eventually, he climbs up, grabs that one apple, takes a bite out of it, and is like, this is a good old apple. And he takes that apple and literally climbs down with that one apple and walks away eating that apple. Now, the reason why I brought that up is because a lot of times, I've heard it before. I've had different female friends in the past say it. Even Ayana's dealt with it where, you feel like, well, let me lower my standards because I need to let's say, attract or make it easier for somebody to want me. And you have to see yourself as that prized possession, as that apple that instead of me being on the top of the tree, like, okay, well, I may not have ever gone through this. I may not have ever experienced this, but I know the God has preserved me because there's a God that's coming. And instead of me shaking myself down to lower myself amongst the other apples, eventually you do end up getting bruised because those other apples are competing for attention. Those other apples are fighting each other for the next man to walk by. And the one guy that sees this apple that has just a little bruise, he bites it. He's like, this is not good, and throws it away. But you want to be that apple that's at the top, that the guy's going to climb the tree. He's going to go through what he needs to go through to get to you. And honestly, when you don't lower yourself, then you also give him the benefit of unwrapping this treasure, of beholding or really just embracing, like, man, this is the best apple that I've ever had in my entire life. Honestly, I've had a few experiences, and I'm not talking about like sexual experiences, but I've only dated a few people. And when it came to Ayana, she actually was the first, like for real, one of the first ladies that I ever like talked to like that, because I was real scary. But that's another story. But when I finally did talk to her and start to understand and get to know her, I saw that you've been preserved. Like there's things about you that a lot of people don't know. And I'm thankful for that, because I would hate to be that guy that's like, in the group with all my friends, like, man, yeah, I got this new girl. What's her name? Her name Tracy. And I'm sitting there talking to this one girl, and next thing you know, every single guy in my group, they all had her. That's not fun. I want someone who's gonna make sure that even that she preserves herself. I'm not saying that you be this square or whatever, but understand that you're worth something, that you're valuable. So don't lower yourself just to get somebody, because if you got to lower yourself, they're under you. That means you got to go under yourself to get to them. Don't lower yourself.
Yeah. I think, honestly, as women, we have to set higher standards. I'm not talking about being like, because some people think, oh, she being stuck up and bougie and blah, blah, blah. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, sometimes we as women, we make stuff a little too easy for men. Like this new thing of, like, it's a lot of guys out there that think that, it's a very old school way. Like, if you're interested in a girl, they're like, why can't she come up to me? And I'm like, well, what if she doesn't know that you're interested in her? So she's never going to come up to you. Well, what if, like, somebody tells her and, she, then she can come to me and say hi. What? That's so dumb. So my thing is, like, I feel like the chase has gone away because sometimes we as women make it, like, easier. Like, well, hey, it's just, I don't know. That is another topic, and we'll get more into that, but don't lower your standards. Don't lower your standards, especially guard your heart. That's the biggest thing. Because honestly, sometimes when you lower your standards, you get into particular situations that will break your heart, and you don't want that. Especially when you feel like when you have to say, I'm lowering my standards, like, that's even like a red flag right there. Like, if you have to be like, okay, well, I'm going to lower my standards just to experience stuff. Nah.
You always end up regretting it.
You always end up regretting it. Like, there are certain things that I have done and, like, let me just experience just a little bit, and I'm like, man, that was stupid. Like, why did I do that? That wasn't even worth it. That was a waste of my time. He was a waste of my time. I can't believe I got caught up in that. Just all that type of stuff. And a waste of emotions and crying. And so No. Yeah. No, 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 no.
No, 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 no. Don't you lower your standards. Say no, 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 no.
Okay.
No, 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 no.
All right, guys. So that is it for this particular video. I hope you guys liked it. Share your opinions down below in the comment section. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have a question, check the link in the description box or email us at theabakahs@gmail.com. And we will see you in our next video.